There was dust upon the valley, cracks like scars across the ground. Not a raindrop in the heavens, not a whisper, not a sound. Cattle starving by the fences, prairie grass as sharp as thorn. And the folks down at the chapel prayed for rain each early morn. I recall those summer evenings, sky like copper, heat like flame, when a preacher from Montana rode through town and spoke my name. Said, son, faith ain't faith at all if it only stands in spring. It takes courage in the dry lands just to praise the risen King. Rivers in the dry land, He can bring them overnight, turn a desert into Eden with a word of His pure light. When your hope is barely breathing and your heart is tired of trying, trust the God who sends the rivers. In the dryland you're surviving. Well, I'd lost more than my harvest, lost my joy, my peace, my song. Felt that maybe God forgot us, that He left us for too long. But the preacher read Isaiah like a spark struck in my chest. Said the Lord makes streams in wastelands, He's the God of second breaths. So I knelt beside my wagon with my hands in brittle dirt. Said, Lord, I ain't got much to offer, but you're welcome in my hurt. And the wind began its whisper, like a hymn soft hummed above. Felt a tear fall from the heavens, first a raindrop, then His love. Rivers in the dry land, He can bring them overnight, turn a desert into Eden with a word of His pure light. When your hope is barely breathing and your heart is tired of trying, trust the God who sends the rivers. In the dryland you're surviving. By the fall the fields turned emerald, where the soil once was slain. Hunger fled and songs of praising filled the valley once again. Every porch had jars of lilies, where the dust once claimed its prize. And revival sparked like lightning in the hearts of humble lives. Now when storms of life grow heavy, or when blessings feel like gone, I remember God in dry lands is still raining strength at dawn. So I'll plant my seeds with courage in the drought or in the flood. For the Savior walks the desert and He sanctifies the mud. Rivers in the dry sends them when we pray, makes a garden out of ashes, turns our night to brightest day. If your soul feels cracked and empty, like a land that's baked and dry, living waters on the way, rivers in the dry land are arriving. I walk that dusty road with my head hanging low, boots worn thin from the miles of mistakes. My heart felt like a fence post cracked by storms, and every step kicked up the shame. I tried to bury the old church bell, hadn't rung in years, although it echoed inside my chest like it was calling me home. I pushed the creaking door and the pews whispered with the weight of every sinner who'd ever sat there before me. I wasn't sure God would listen, but I knew I couldn't keep running.
Cobwebs covered the hymns, dust lay thick on the altar rail, and a faded Bible sat open to a verse about forgiveness. Like someone left it waiting for the next lost soul. I dropped my hat, fell to my knees, and the red dirt stained my jeans like the scars on my past.
My voice trembled as I tried to pray, but the words stuck until a tear hit the floorboards and the dam finally broke.
I told God I was done fighting.
I told him I was tired of living like a ghost in my own life. And at that red dirt altar, under a cross made of old oak timber, I laid down every burden I carried through the years. And the dust turned to water, washed away by heaven's river, when grace fell like rain and wiped away my fears. On that hill where lost men falter, I found a Savior stronger. At the red dirt altar where a sinner disappeared.
Morning sunlight crept through the broken stained glass, painting colors over the mess I was. I stood up different, then I knelt down, lighter like someone cut loose the rope of every regret tied to my heart. I picked up that old Bible and brushed the dust away, and it felt like brushing the dirt off a seed finally ready to grow. When I stepped outside, the sky was wider, the road wasn't as long, and the wind felt like a hand on my shoulder guiding me forward. I knew that hill wasn't the end of my journey, it was the start of the one God meant for me.
At that red dirt altar, under a cross made of old oak timber, I laid down every burden I carried through the years. And the dust turned to water, washed away by heaven's river, when grace fell like rain and wiped away my fears. On that hill where lost men falter, I found a Savior stronger. At the red dirt altar where a sinner disappeared. Maybe you've walked that same dry road, carrying a heart too heavy to hold, but there's a place where the broken are made whole. where the dirt beneath your knees turns into gold.
At the red dirt altar, mercy fell like a warm September, and a voice said, "Son, you are forgiven, don't you fear." Now the dust turns to water for every soul who wanders, because God still meets the lost who crawl to Him in tears. If your knees hit that same altar, you'll rise a newborn soldier. From that red dirt altar, leave your chains right here. They say the church is still empty most days, but the door never closes.
And if you stand on that hill at sunset, you can almost hear the sound of someone finding